Welcome back to No Cap Recap. I am your host Denzel, and today we will be recapping I.S.S. International Space Station, not ISS in school suspension like some of y'all know. Make sure y'all put in the comment section how many times you went to ISS, because I know for sure y'all been there. So it's about the top astronauts all across the world, particularly US and Russia, and they're carrying out their missions, right? They're serving their countries, spending holidays together. They're becoming friends, building relationships, and actually connecting on the intimate levels. They're learning about each other's families and each other's cultures and what have you. But one of the main things about the International Space Station is, as you start to jump into these 6 individuals' lives, is that you can see how devoted they are to their mission, and then also how they're building these relationships very well. I think there was a good touch there. One notable part that I loved the most was when there was a statement of sorts where they said that you can look out into the world, right? This is Russia and this is the US. And obviously we know that there's loads of tension there in between the two. They say that you can look at the world in the capacity that there's only beauty. There's no borders, there's no grids, there's no land distinction, right? There's no borders, just humanity. Dr. Kira Foster, relatively new, played by Ariana DeBose. I've seen her in quite a few other films as well. One day she decides to look out the window, and she believes initially that she sees a volcano erupting, but there's multiple happening all across this landmass that she's looking at. It's pretty unknown at the time. But they all begin to look out and they start to realize these are explosions happening. So then the ISS begins to they begin to request information. The internet goes down. Everyone starts to get concerned about family members, live back home. What is actually going on with the planet, right? So their nerves are starting to become unsettled. And then a classified message comes through, and it says something along the lines of an act of war has been initiated between the US and Russia. All of your objectives right now, put those to the wayside. Your new objective is to take control of the ISS by any means necessary. But what they start to realize is that, especially the US astronauts, is that the Russian astronauts got the exact same message. And all the while, once they just received their new orders, they also find another issue, is that the ISS is actually in trouble. And technically, well, it's no technical, they're in free fall. So if they don't fix the ISS or get a reboot from whatever it is, it's all the scientific stuff, I don't know exactly, right? So the ISS is just in trouble and it's falling out of the sky. If they don't fix it, then they're gonna be down there relatively soon, and it ain't gonna be no nice landing. Let's just say that. The movie starts to show this different dynamic. First is US versus Russia, but you start to actually see is that it's really everybody for themselves as well, because people have these mixed feelings. They have their moral compass that starts to get involved of, we've built these relationships with each other, but I'm devoted to my duty, to my service, to my nation, my country. And what decisions should I make? They must fight and work together at the exact same time. So how does these astronauts gain control of the ISS while protecting the people that they've grown to know in this complex concept that the writers and directors illustrated relatively well? There are some small subtleties that I really liked. For example, it was the tapping of the mayonnaise, but it was due to the dynamic of what was actually going on in that particular situation, right? Tensions were high. And you're like, mayonnaise, what does that got to do with anything? If you go see it, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. I like that small touch. But one thing I do want to say is that they needed more action. They needed more strategical thinking within the characters, their character dynamic. I felt like there should have been more tension, more suspense. The ending really leaves you wondering, was this the best approach to end the movie? It just happened and then it was, oh, well, we're done. And boop, ba-doop, here come the credits. I didn't have a lot of expectation because I just didn't know that much about it. But the trailer looked really good to me. These are my kind of movies. Very suspenseful. You have this overarching issue while dealing with psychological normancies or constructs that should help you move through the world in a more smooth manner. But that simply gets disrupted due to the survival mechanism that has to take place. So overall, I give it a 4. Give it a 4. Yeah, I give it a 4. Do I want to give it a 4? No, I want to be higher, but to be honest with you, it's a 4. It's not bad, but it's not average. I would say that much. It really isn't. It's a sort of a letdown, and I think why I give it more of a 4 out of 10, mind you, is that it just didn't peak in the certain areas that I wanted it to, or that I was expecting it to. Was it interesting? Yes. I love the concept. I love that they're on the ISS. We never thought of a movie to be that way before, but it just didn't, like a Jerry curl that didn't quite curl. It just, hold on, I ain't trying to steal no jokes now. Hold on. I ain't gonna do that. If you know, you know. Never mind. I ain't gonna say. That was a blooper. I like that one. But that's it for me. And until next time, y'all hit the like, y'all subscribe. Until next time, be easy.